Please subscribe to my channel by clicking the subscribe button. It is absolutely free of cost. Please click on the bell icon to receive the notifications regarding all my newly uploaded videos. Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel Revenuous Learner. Well, today I have brought for you all a very interesting topic for discussion, that is the mergers and acquisitions. Well, if you're from India, I'm pretty sure that you're listening to this news a lot these days that Walmart has acquired 77% stake in Flipkart at a whooping deal of $16 billion. Well, indeed, that's a great amount. Well, this concept is not a new concept. This concept was also heard in May 2014, wherein Flipkart had acquired the online fashion retailer Myntra. Also, in February 2014, the famous social media website Facebook had acquired WhatsApp. So, this concept is flooded with such great examples. So, it becomes more and more important for us to understand this concept in detail. So without wasting any further time, let's get started directly with the concept. So starting with the first question that is arising when I see the topic mergers and acquisitions, that is, what is meant by mergers and acquisitions? Well, answering this, I would say that mergers and acquisition is a general name given to a set of transactions wherein the ownership of a company is either transferred to a second company or is either combined with a second company to form a new enterprise. So many of you might be wondering, okay, then what is the difference between mergers and acquisitions? A merger happens when one entity combines with another entity forming a new entity, whereas an acquisition is said to be happen when one entity takes the ownership of another entity's stock or assets. A transaction which is structured as a merger gives the shareholders a partial ownership and control over the combined enterprise, whereas a transaction which is structured as an acquisition has an effect wherein the business of a company is under indirect control of the shareholders of the acquiring company. So that is the difference between mergers and acquisitions. Having understood the difference between a merger and an acquisition, it is now time for us to understand different types of mergers and acquisitions. So, starting with the different types of mergers, the first merger is a horizontal merger. A horizontal merger is a merger that has happened between two companies that share the same product lines and the market they operate in. When such companies share the same product line and the market, then it is always better for them to reduce the competition and to sometimes merge with each other. Hence, this is a horizontal kind of merger. If the companies that are going to merge with each other have the same levels of sales revenue or the profits, then we can call this kind of merger as a merger of equals. Hence, the second type of merger is a merger of equals. Now, we move on to the third type of merger, that is the vertical merger. A vertical merger is said to have happened for two companies when they produce parts or provide services for a final finished product. We can also say that such two companies operate at different levels within the same supply chain matrix. When such two companies merge, the intention is they have to increase their efficiency. Example, if I have to give you of a vertical merger, is when a cloth manufacturing company merges with certain textile mills. The resultant will be that there will be a common enterprise and hence the shipment or the overall efficiency of the cloth manufacturing will of course increase. Hence, this is an example of a vertical merger. The most common example I can give you of a congeneric merger is when, suppose, Walmart had merged with Flipkart. So, this is a type of a congeneric merger. Their product lines are almost the same, but the nature of selling or the market in which they operate is different. Walmart operates through stores spread all over the world, whereas Flipkart operates through online websites. So their nature of selling is different. So this is a very good example of a congeneric merger. The fifth type of merger is the market extension merger. This merger happens between companies that have the same product range, but the market they can't expand because of some limitations. Hence, such companies can merge and take the advantage of the different markets these two companies operate differently. So, having merged, the expansion will lead to a greater market reach, and both the companies will get a higher sales revenue out of this merger. So this is a very good example wherein two companies can cooperate with each other and merge, and it will benefit both of the companies. The sixth type of merger is the product extension merger. Two companies having very good market reach but have a partial demands of products. Suppose a customer wants some products from company 1 and he wants the some products from company 2. Hence, the company 1 cannot fulfill his entire requirement, whereas the company 2 cannot fulfill the entire requirement because of the difference in opinion of the two products. Hence, such two companies can take the decision to merge with each other so that when the customer again raises the requirement, the overall enterprise benefits as a whole and the customer requirement is fulfilled by a single enterprise. This will help the combined enterprise also to quote the customer at a very good price. One more very famous type of merger is the conglomeration. The conglomeration is a merger between two companies that have nothing in common. These two companies merge with just an aim to expand their reach, to expand their portfolios they operate in. Also, conglomeration reduces the risk associated with any company, because if a company continues to operate in the same segment and if the in future the segment is hit by a recession, then the company is at risk. Such a company merges with some different company operating in a completely different segment, that is the conglomerate type of merger. The company has a lesser type of risk because it is not necessary that recession that is hitting one segment is going to hit the another segment. So this is a very good type of merger wherein the company can avoid any type of risk and continue to expand their business. Having known the types of mergers, it is now time for us to understand the types of acquisitions. Starting with the first type of acquisition, that is the friendly acquisition. Well, as the name suggests, this is a friendly type of acquisition wherein the acquiring company and the company being acquired happily proceed with the acquisition process. The example I can give you is that Walmart acquired Flipkart, and as of now, we haven't heard any news wherein the two CEOs of the company are not satisfied with the acquisition process. We can assume this process to be a friendly acquisition wherein Walmart has acquired Flipkart. The second type of acquisition is a hostile kind of acquisition. Now, it is the completely opposite to the friendly kind of acquisition. As the name suggests, the acquiring company continues to try to acquire the company which it intends to acquire, while on the other hand, the company which is being targeted to be acquired doesn't wish to be acquired. Now, if such a company doesn't wish to be acquired, and even then the acquiring company still intends and still continues its efforts to acquire this company, that can be called as a hostile kind of acquisition. This hostile kind of acquisition can be brought to success by the acquiring company in many of the ways. One way is that it can acquire majority stocks of the company which it intends to acquire. Acquiring majority stocks will help the acquiring company to have a indirect ownership and control of the company. Hence, if a company makes such an offer for the shares, it is known as a creeping tender offer. Also, such company can try to change the management of the company which it intends to acquire with a hope that the next management will happily agree for the acquisition process. So this is a hostile kind of acquisition. The third type of acquisition is the reverse acquisition. In reverse acquisition, a private company tries to acquire a public health company. Now, the public health company can easily agree for the acquisition if it's a small scale and if it's not growing that much. The private company, on the other hand, is full with resources, but only the case it's not listed in the stock exchange. Hence, to avoid the times in the IPO, that is the initial public offerings, or you can also say the stock launch, can directly approach a public company wherein it can try to acquire it. It will help the private company to save times for the IPO, and such a acquisition, if happen, can be called as a reverse acquisition. The fourth type of acquisition is the backflip acquisition. In this acquisition, a not very well known brand but performing very good tries to become a subsidiary of a very well known brand but currently not able to perform to its fullest capacities due to some of the reasons like large quantities of product recall, like some kind of fraud hit has hit the company. Hence, such brand is very good in image but is not able to perform due to such reasons. Hence, the other brand will try to become a subsidiary of such a brand, and the acquisition that will happen out of this is known as a backflip type of acquisition. So till now we have seen what is meant by mergers and acquisitions, what is the difference between a merger and an acquisition, what are the types of mergers and acquisitions, but why we are learning this? There is some benefits associated with mergers and acquisitions, and this is the reason why companies try to merge or try to acquire some other companies. The reasons are simple and those are as follows. First, the benefit associated with mergers and acquisition is that becoming bigger. Merging with certain brand or trying to acquire certain famous brand will help you and your company to become bigger. How it will help you is because it's simple. When you get associated with some kind of major brand, very famous brand, your market share is bound to get increased. When your market share is bound to increase, the customer is naturally going to get attracted to you. Hence, the second benefit that arises out of the first benefit is that you dominate the market by your presence. The third benefit is that there are also some kind of tax benefits associated with this concept of mergers and acquisitions. If I'm acquiring a certain company, I have to pay the company sometimes its manifold of its sales revenue, sometimes of its sales revenue. Also, the shareholders, I have to take care of the shareholders also. So, I can give the shareholders 2 to 3 shares extra of each share holded by them of that company being acquired. So, giving them shares rather than asking them to sell out their shares will help them also and will help me also to have a tax benefit, because I don't get tax when I hold the shares, but when I sell out the share or where I do any kind of transactions with the share, I am bound to pay certain kind of tax. So that is a tax benefit arising out of the concept of mergers and acquisitions. The fourth benefit that arises out of this concept is that of a staff reductions. Mergers and acquisitions can help you significantly reduce your staff, because wherein you were having two staffs from one company and from the other company, now after the combination of the two companies you can have a single staff, and this will help you to reduce the staff too. Another very good benefit arising out of mergers and acquisitions is that of economies of scale. Economies of scale is simple. You are raising demands of certain kinds of resources for one company, and also you are raising demand for certain kind of resources from the other company. But after the mergers and acquisitions of these two companies, both this demand can merge into a larger demand, and having a larger demand already raised into the to the vendor will help you to get a good cost for the demand. The more the demand is, the less the cost is. Like, another two good benefits arising out of mergers and acquisition is that you acquire advanced technology by merging or by acquiring the other company. You acquire the advanced technology that the other company might have. This will help you to increase your awareness with the recent technologies also. So this is a very good example of mergers and acquisitions. The last good example of mergers and acquisitions is that of improved market reach. Suppose that if I was operating in a certain market, and if the other company which I merged with or which I acquired was operating in a different market and was having different kinds of vendors, so being merged with that company or acquired that company, now I have a direct reach to those vendors also. So I have a widespread kind of options wherein I have a reduced risk and I have an improved market reach. So thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe to this channel. Make sure to hit the bell icon and click on the like button. Make sure to comment below if you have any kind of questions. Please comment below. I will answer those. The links to my previous video is just here. Also, the link to subscription is just here. Make sure to subscribe, guys. Make sure to subscribe. Thank you. Goodbye.